just start with say and spell your name.
My name is Joseph Anthony Brown. JosepHanthonyBrown.
Nice. Awesome. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Portbury, Louisiana.
Yeah. What was
Yes.
it like growing up in there?
It was okay. I mean, it was a very small town, and I went to Portbury Elementary, and then the time when I left Portbury Elementary, we didn't, as African Americans, we didn't have a school for us in Portbury, so we had to go to Dunbar. Well, that particular year, before I graduated from Portbury Elementary, we 19, I don't remember exactly what year, but we started going to Portbury High. So that was kind of a culture shock, but it was one that was an experience that really got me to understand the dynamics of people and how people operate amongst one another and how they can get along if they set their mind to it. So that was basically, and then we lived on a farm. My grandfather was a farmer, and he had about 200 acres of land, and we farmed that land, and he planted potatoes, cotton, just about everything you could name. And we really had fun doing that until we realized it was work. And then things changed. We looked at it in a totally different way. But
work.
we used that for our school supplies, mainly working his farm.
Wow, what a
So
great.
so it was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that mean you had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning?
No, it was never that early, but it was around 5 o'clock. But one thing that they did have was that you would never miss school for work. You know, we never worked in the field to so-called replace our schooling. No, schooling came first, and then that came later. Yes. Mhm.
Did you enjoy school?
I did. I really did. You know, that was challenges, you know, growing up, but around the 10th grade, 9th grade, I discovered sports, and I started playing football, became the captain of our team in the 11th and 12th grade. And we did pretty good. Matter of fact, we had a 9-1 season. We went 9 and we went 6 games without anybody scoring on us. So we had a record going at Portbury High, and that's the first time they had ever done that at that particular school. So it was really enjoyable. I mean, I really enjoyed that, that experience. Yes.
Did you enjoy being a captain?
I did, but I don't believe I was as vocal as I am today. You know, I was really laid back then, so I just kind of meshed in with everything, and the guys accepted it because the personality that I had. You know, and sometimes you go back on schooling, like for instance, it's something you do on the internet. I forgot what they call it, but about your past. And everyone that wrote anything about me always said that he was very quiet. He was very quiet. You know, and I find that, you know, kind of amazing because I didn't think I was that quiet, but they all felt that I was at that time. Yeah.
So where did life take you after Portbury High?
After Portbury High, I went to Southern University for, I believe, maybe a semester. I didn't stay that long. And then I transferred to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And I was there for about 2 years. And my major was journalism.
Oh, okay.
And so the problem that I had with it was that I wanted to write. That was my goal, but I wanted to write novels. That was my focus, and really they didn't teach that. You know, they was teaching the very, you know, grammatical, you had to be right with your, and that wasn't really what I was looking for. So that's the reason why I wind up leaving school and then moving to Houston, where I started working. But I did write for a newspaper there in Houston for a while. An opportunity to interview, you know, James Brown, Tina Turner, the Four Tops, Taj Mahal.
Wow.
You know, those individuals that came, the Perna sisters also, that came into town and they would set us up, you know, to meet the people. So that was interesting, but
Oh, yeah.
still yet that wasn't what I wanted to do anyway, you know. So.
So you're a writer? Are you still a writer?
No, I don't write as much now. I use my writing more toward the ministry now that I do. But I did write a novel. Never got it published, but I did write. I had a few other things that I had published in small periodicals, but
Yeah.
you know, nothing, you know,
Yeah.
that I thought I was going to do.
Yeah.
But now I look at it at the study and the time that I took. Now I look at it and say, well, now it helps me with my ministry, and so it had its purpose.
Sure.
You know, but I really wanted to, you know, everybody wanted to write that great American novel, you know, but that never did happen.
So what are you reading right now?
Mainly right now, I read Christian books, but mainly I try to stick with the Bible. Yes, yeah, most of my reading. You know, I heard someone say the other day that the Bible is the source of all other books, and all other books are nothing but footnotes. And so that's how I look at it.
Okay.
You know, I view it.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any favorite stories from the Bible? Or parts of the Bible, or people in the Bible?
Well, I don't know if I have any favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, they all fall into
Sure.
certain categories. Okay. And I like the book of Ecclesiastes because of what it talks about. You know, it talks about life and how one is to live, but at the same time, letting you know that no matter all you gain in this life, it will never bring you the satisfaction that you think you will get out of it. All the riches, all the women, all the men, or whatever, you can throw it all in there together, but it will not give you the final satisfaction that you think you really want. And you know, and it was Solomon who wrote that particular book, and he's known as one of the wisest men ever. But it's just that he tried everything and he attempted everything, and it seemed like no matter at the end, his answer was vanity of vanities. It all is vanity when it's all said and done.
When you were growing up, did you have any mentors in your life?
I would have to say my dad. My dad was my mentor because the kind of man he was. He was a man that was straight up. I mean, he told me once that he had an opportunity to leave out of town because he was a hard worker. And then he also worked on the farm. And he was a hard worker. But the thing about it was that he told us that he did not leave from out of Port Barre, and he stayed where he was around, which worked in Cross Spring Lumber Company, which was in Cross Spring and Opelousas. He didn't leave because he knew that our mother would not be able to raise us by herself. And we were 4 boys in the very beginning. We were 9, total, and we were actually 5 boys at one time. Wow. And so, he said, it's just no way. And I know he was right when he said that. Yeah. He was just that kind of man. And so that kind of made an impact upon my life. I remember coming from church one day, we were coming from service, and we stopped at this particular store, and this man was getting a newspaper out at the Daily World over in Opelousas. He was taking the newspaper out, he had dropped his dime in, and he left it open and said, "Herbert, come get you a paper." And he said, no, close it back up. And he closed it back up, and Dad dropped his dime in there and got his paper out. Yeah. So it's things like that he shared with us, and and he told us the opportunities he had where he could have actually had his house built, the house that he had desired that he would have for his family, that he could have gotten lumber that was free because of where he was at, and he refused to do that. He said, I will, build his house. I asked the Lord, so I sat on that porch of that shotgun home that we had, and he said, I asked God, I said, if you just give me a home for my children, I'll be satisfied with that. Then after that, you can take me, but I want this. And it finally happened. So that was.
That's great, definitely. We'll talk a little bit about AOC for a minute, if that's okay. Tell me how you first got involved with AOC.
AOC, it was a challenge, really. It really was a challenge. And I'm going to say it was a challenge because you remember when it was at the old location. And I remember passing by there many times, and I wanted to do a show. And I stopped one day and I talked to, what's the lady name that was here?
Probably Miss Deborah.
Miss Deborah, yes. And I talked to her and she said that, oh yes, just come in and it's no problem, you can start. And I didn't do it. And I think it went a whole year. And then I passed by, and I walked downtown for exercise every now and then. So I would pass by there periodically and I'll look through the window and I'll see her. And I don't know why I didn't. Be honest with you, I thought it was more involved than what it really is. How easy you all make it for someone who decides they want to do a program. I mean, I was basically just spoon-fed to what I needed to do, and then I was able to do it myself. But I mean, it just seems overwhelming. Until you get involved. And if that's any positive thing that I would like to say about AOC, I've been blessed to know that it's not that difficult for you to be able to get involved and start a program on your own. Awesome. Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was your first impression of AOC?
I guess I had a good impression because Ms. Deborah, I mean, her personality is just she really can get along with just about anybody, to me anyway. And so that was very important, just meeting her. I mean, that just opened the door for me to really, once I got down and really sat down and talked with her, and then she shared with me how simple it really was. Then after that, it was like, wow, meeting everybody else, it was like, wow, this is good. Yeah.
What's your dream project to work on or to produce?
Dream project. I don't know if I really have that. I believe I'm living my dream right now. I'm honestly am. I don't have a desire to do this big expansion and all over the world. No, that's never was. It was always just to have it where it is right now. And so could that dream get bigger? It's possible, but the dream itself now, I'm in it.
Nice. What are you looking forward to in 2017?
2017. I am, first of all, I am blessed to be married to the wife that I have now, which is Linda. I had a wife before her about 11 years ago, and she passed from cancer. She was a psalmist, she sung, and so we traveled a little, and she, sang within the ministry. But 2017, and I do have two sons. I have one that's 34, and I have one that's 42. So, but I would say my dream in 2017, one of the goals I had for my two sons, because it's very challenging, I think, for them because they lost their mother, and the fact that they did, there are certain times as a father that men don't communicate and connect like they would do if that was their mother. So I have to make extra efforts as a father to still be there for them, especially in times of holidays. So one of the goals I believe this year is that we got together, the boys and I, about 2 years ago we went fishing. When we all like fishing, and we not rented a boat, but we got those charter boats, and we went out and we really enjoyed ourselves. And they're still talking about it. So what we are planning on doing is getting a boat. And what we're going to do is purchase a boat, and I'm going to leave it with them so that when I get ready to, because I'm involved, I love golf. So I play a lot of golf. I play in tournaments. And so I won't have time to really do that. So I'm going to leave it with them. And then, when we get ready, set some time aside, and then we'll go fishing.
I love it.
Yeah, and that would be what I would say for 2017.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's talk a little bit about music. What would be on your best of playlist? What do you have to listen to for the rest of your life?
I like good gospel music. I like easy listening music also, you know. I like, the Eagles or, you know, people like that. There's another, I can't think of the name right offhand, but, you know, things of that, man. Just very easy listening.
Calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. What were your favorite books or movies or sports heroes during your childhood?
I think one of my favorite books was when I had an opportunity to read, but I was of age then, but when I had an opportunity to read Roots. I never saw the movie, and I saw part of it, but I loved that particular book there. There was another one. I liked science fiction when I was much younger, because I would read the Alfred Hitchcock books or little magazines that they would put out. That was it. Let's see, stories wise. I don't know. Just just kind of.
Yeah. You played a lot of football, you said. Who were your heroes in sports?
Well, I had an uncle who played pretty good before I came, and his name was Patrick. But Deacon Jones was one of the guys. Jack Ham. It was mainly defensive players that I really, you know, liked when it came to football.
Yeah. Is that what you played?
Yeah, I played defense. Yeah. Yeah.
As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think there was two things. I wanted to be a writer and also a pro golfer. Yeah, that was my two dreams, and neither one of them have come true so far.
Working on them.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I'm writing.
Yeah,
I'm writing. I'm still golfing. Yeah, and I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, I got a pretty good game.
Nice. If you could have dinner with 5 famous people from history or from your life, who would they be?
Well, one would definitely have to be Jesus. The other one would be Solomon. The other one would possibly be Dr. King. The other would be, let's see, Harriet Tubman would be another one. And then I would, my great-grandfather, Frank Brown. Yeah, that would be the other.
Great. Do you know of a question that you would ask them, a first question to one of those 5 people?
I guess I would, the question would be, I guess, to my great-grandfather, because of what he established, and to find out what really motivated him at a time when because he's the one who first got the land and established the land, and the people that he helped. And in our hometown, the name, our last name Browns, it has. He started a syrup mill, and we was selling syrup all over this state, and then even in California. Brown's Brown's cane syrup, cane river something syrup was the name of it. And I would just like to ask him how it was back then, that he didn't just fold a tent and just give up, because there was so many things that was pressed against him at that particular time. But I know my grandfather always said, it was God who was with us, and that's how he looked at it. But I never heard my great-grandfather, say that.
Sure.
Yeah, because they're the one who started the first school in Polkberry. The elementary school for African Americans was one of my aunts.
Wow.
And they built the church, St. Mary Catholic Church. They have a fantastic history that been documented.
Oh, okay.
So that is very important, to us.
Sure.
Yeah, as a family.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What inspires you
Um,
or motivates? Might be a better word.
I guess I would say now
Mm-hmm.
I've evolved into this, and that's helping people get an understanding of who they are beyond of what society say that you are. In other words, don't let society say to you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Know who you are. And then when you know who you are, then you can move forward. But when you're constantly guessing, and when someone say, "Hey, stupid," in the mall, and you the only one turn, then you got a problem, because you shouldn't turn. Because you shouldn't think of yourself in that manner. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be knowing who you are, and that's a constant development throughout your life. And so that's what my desire is, that even though I teach the Bible, I share the Bible, I want you to have an understanding of who you really are, because that determines a whole lot. Now, I feel like in our society today, people are being defined. And when they're defined by society, then they become like robots,
Well said. What achievement are you most proud of?
I believe, well, I would say my two sons, really, in all honesty, because, when they share with me, when we talk, and then they share with me, "Dad, we don't know what we would be doing without you and where we are at right now." Mm-hmm. And, we have had our challenges, especially when I decided to remarry. There was challenges on both hands. But, through the process of life, they came to a point of realizing that, Dad needs to go on with his life. And now they accept that. And now we can talk openly. And so they go back in the past and say, "Well, we enjoyed this," or "We like this." But most of all, we're glad that you all stood on the principles that you had, because they look at their friends and all the things that they're involved in now, and they say, "Well, thank God we don't do drugs, we don't do this, we don't do that." And so to me, that was or is my greatest achievement, in all honesty.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. What is your superpower?
My superpower, the ability to be anxious at times when I shouldn't. I become over anxious over certain things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I don't know if anybody have that.
Yeah, that's what you want. Okay.
No, that's what I have
that's
now.
what you have. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what I have to work with, and to learn not to be so anxious about things.
Gotcha.
So that's something that is a superpower I wish I didn't have.
Yeah. What is one thing about you that few people know?
As few people know. Well, in high school, I was one of the best shot putters in the state.
There you go.
Yeah. Like I said before, that I'm a pretty decent golfer. Last year, I won the City Open part of the championship. I would. That would be it. I would imagine.
I didn't know you liked golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were a season, which one would you be and why?
A season. I would have to say spring. It's something about spring. I guess remembering it as a youth, I loved taking walks, and I used to take walks back in the field and back in the woods, and at that time of the year it's not hot, not overbearing, and usually in the summertime we were working. Mm-hmm. And so we would have that time in the spring where we had free time. So I really like that time of the year, spring. Sure. Yeah.
Definitely. How would you like to be remembered?
That I tried my best. Not always my best, but I've tried to be the best that I could be. And as a friend, to be the best friend that I could be. And as a father, the best father that I could possibly be. Failed many times, but, got back up on the horse and kept on riding. And that's what it's all about to me, that you don't ever give up in whatever dream, vision you have, that you never give up. And that's something that if my sons could say to you today, what would thing that I told them more than anything is never give up. And I think it was Winston Churchill who coined that, to never give up, never give in.
Nice. Mm-hmm. One final question. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
I'll give you the first thoughts that came to my mind. Tall, dark, and handsome.
Nice.
That's what came to my mind. I don't know why, but
That's awesome. Great answer.
All right.
Well, you survived. You're done.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you so